Hey guys, today I wanted to share with you my World War I collection. As you can see, I don't have a whole lot of stuff. It's not that I don't, want to collect it or anything. It's just so hard to find, because we're nearing almost 100 years since the war ended, and this stuff has just almost disappeared altogether. Whether it be in private collections or destroyed or whatever, it's just very hard to find. And when you do find this stuff, usually it's very expensive. It's marked up pretty high. But I just wanted to share with you my little collection today. I was going to start here with this ammo. These two clips here in the loose round, these 11 rounds are all German 8mm Mauser ammo. This ammo here, I couldn't find a date on the head stamps or anything, but it is 8mm Mauser. It is World War I. This ammo right here on this clip is actually dated June 1918, which I thought was really cool. And then it got this loose round, which I don't know if I could pull up the head stamp for you or not. Some of them are kind of really worn out, but see, it's actually dated 8/15. So it's August 1915 on that round. And these bullets would have been, or these rounds would have been for the German bolt-action rifle, the K98 Mauser, which I do have one. I would definitely never shoot this ammo, but it's just cool to collect. These down here are British 303 rounds, and they are World War I. They're dated 1916, and what's cool about it is they're actually marked US. It says US 16 and then the Mark 7 on the bottom of the head stamp. These rounds were actually made in the United States for the British rifles, which I thought was really cool. A lot of the Allies would make different things to help each other out for the war effort. I thought that was really cool. Right here I have this World War I canteen dated 1918. Unfortunately, I don't have a cover or anything with it, but I only paid $2 for it at an auction, which I think was a steal. I'm very glad to have added that. I got this really neat postcard right here. It's actually kind of humorous. It's got kind of a big guy there, and it says, "I'm going to fight, but gee, I hope I don't get stuck in the trenches." So I thought that was kind of funny. And on the back, it's actually written, by a soldier to his girlfriend or maybe his wife. It's got a date of March 3rd up here, but I don't see an actual year. But it's definitely World War I, and I tried reading some of this. Some of it I can make out, some of it I can't, but it's just really cool to find older postcards like this. Really neat. I thought it was really cool. I think I gave like $2 or $3 for it on eBay. Right here, this thing's cool. I had this in a video probably over 2 years ago. This is an aeronautical compass. It's actually World War I. It would have been made for a British Sopwith Camel biplane. And it was made by H. Hughes and Son. It's a model 517, which I'm guessing would date, 1917, maybe 1918. And it was made in London. It's not 100% there. There is a little bit missing from it, but I thought it was really cool. And it still works. The only thing is I don't have any type of liquid in there. I know the light's shining there also. When I got this thing, it was just full of just rusty, nasty, this liquid. It wasn't water. It just had a strong smell to it. But I couldn't see nothing on the inside, so I took these screws off and drained the stuff and cleaned it the best I could. But it still works, still moves around in there. One day I might get it the proper liquid in there and get it sealed back up, and so it can work like it was intended to. But I believe it was like $42 or $45 for this at an antique store. I was just real intrigued, and I've never seen one before, and I just thought I had to have it for my collection. So that was a pretty good find there. Right here, I've got this World War I bandolier, and what's in here, there's a bunch of rounds. The only thing is, look how they look. I've actually cleaned them up before, but the corrosion is just still on there on most of the rounds. They're pretty bad. This is actually 30-06 ammo, which was made, would have been made for the Springfield 03 rifles, and also the model of 1917. As you know, those were the U.S. rifles that the Americans carried during World War I. The ammo is actually dated 1918, so it'd be towards the probably last few months or so of the war. But I got this at an antique store. I believe I gave $25 for the whole thing. I'm pretty sure that's what I gave. What's cool about it is on the clips here, which is kind of hard to make out, I'm sure, for you guys, but it's got 3 patent dates on there. And the most recent one, I know it's hard to see, is actually dated. It's January 16th, 1906. So these clips are 109 years old, almost 110 years old, which I thought was really cool. I was glad to have added this to the collection. But, you know, I just like the old ammo. I just think it's really cool, you know. And I've said in another video, you know, if this ammo had been fired, you know, it might have taken lives. So I'm glad this ammo, you know, each of the calibers was never fired, and, you know, it couldn't have taken anybody's life. You know, war is not a good thing. Unfortunately, a lot of people have to die when they do take place. But moving on here, I got this model 1917 Doughboy helmet. It was just in a video just not too long ago. I got it for $10. It doesn't have much of the liner left, no chin strap. But as I mentioned in the other video, the way to determine you for sure got a World War I, at least, you know, American helmet, Doughboy helmet, would be the heat stamp. And I know it's going to be hard to see also, but it's going to start with the letter Z. See, this one's ZE42. So this one's definitely World War I era. I've got this other Doughboy helmet here. If I can get it off the table. This one it's got a heat stamp of, it's right down here. This one's a little bit more readable. It's ZA244. Now this one does have a liner, but this is a replacement liner. This wasn't the one that was made for it during World War I. This is a World War II replacement. Early World War II, probably around 1941 or so. This was replaced. You see it's got a similar piece of a chin strap as the M1 helmets, which replaced this. You know, they started making the M1 helmets in around June, July of 41, and they started replacing these, you know, getting shipped to the troops around early to mid 1942. But I gave $5 for that one at an auction, which was a steal. I was glad to have added that, you know, to my collection. Now I'm going to get here with these uniforms. This first one here is a model 1917. It's a U.S. service tunic. I got this at an auction for $40 about 3 years or so ago. It's got the private first class ranked there on the sleeve. And it's also, I thought it was cool, the collar disc up here, it's got the 43rd Infantry Regiment and its B Company, which I thought was really cool. And then the U.S. there. It is missing a couple buttons at the bottom, but that's okay. Overall, it's in really good condition. There's no way I could imagine wearing one of these. You know, wearing the wool, it just itches and it's so hot. But, you know, it's just unreal what the men had to wear when they fought, you know, in the trenches and everything. It's just, I don't know, I think it would drive me nuts. Now, it does have the breeches here, or the trousers, however you want to, you know, pronounce it or call them. But these are really cool, and they've actually got some splatters on there, which I'm pretty sure is blood. See, there's just a few spots here and there, some down below. A few little holes and everything in it, but overall, they're in really good shape. It's got the stitches on the sides of the legs. Unfortunately, there's no name or anything in here, but, you know, it's all good. I'm pretty happy, you know, to have been able to pick this up. I think I got a pretty good deal on it. I'm always looking for more of this stuff, and hopefully I'll start to get more of it. I got, you know, some pickers like myself looking out for stuff like this for me. So we'll see what comes up, hopefully, before long. Lastly, I got this here for you. This is a World War I officer's tunic. I got this for $25, actually at a gun shop. There's a man that has a gun store on his own property that he owns, and he had this hanging up with some other random stuff, and he gave it to me for, or sold it to me for $25, which I thought was a good deal. Like I said, it's officers. It's a little bit different setup as the 1917 wool tunic. It's a completely different material, which I think I could deal with, you know, wearing something like this. Unfortunately, it used to have a star patch here on the left sleeve, but someone's taken it off, as well as a chevron down here. Someone's taken that off. Now, this one does have a lot of blood on it, right here on the left sleeve. There's some holes, which I'm guessing are mothing, not actual bullet holes, but there's definitely blood on this thing. I don't know if it was the guy wearing it or somebody else's, but it's kind of interesting to see something like that. This does have a World War I victory ribbon bar on there. And unfortunately, no other patches or anything. No collar disc or anything. It does have the pants, which is a bonus. Got the leg stitchings going up there and everything. It does have some rips and tears here on the inside, but overall, I'm really pleased to have gotten this. I think $25 was a steal, especially, you know, nowadays, the way, like I said, most things are expensive and marked up. But anyways, guys, like I said, I just wanted to share this with you. Now, I do have some World War I bayonets, you know, for like the Enfield rifles, and a couple World War I dated Enfield rifles that I thought about putting in this video, but I'm actually going to make a separate video, do like an updated gun collection video, and maybe bayonets in the near future. But like I said, this is all I have. Hopefully this World War I part of my entire military collection will grow. Like I said, I'm always looking for this stuff. But anyways, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for subscribing, like, comment, share. And I look forward to seeing the videos that y'all are going to be putting out as well. There's a lot of other good collections out there. And if you have any information on any of this that I might have missed or anything, let me know. Educate me. I don't mind. I'm definitely not an expert. I'm just very passionate about this kind of stuff. Thanks a lot.